Welcome to Madlit Musings, the podcast where we dive into the minds of authors, exploring the profound realms of faith, social issues, and the delightful world of entertainment. I'm your host, Jamie Jo Wright, and on this literary journey, you never quite know what you're going to get. Hey there, Madlit enthusiasts. Our podcast is sponsored by the esteemed Baker Publishing Group. Whether you're into heartwarming romance, gripping suspense, or deep dives into matters of faith and society, Baker Publishing Group has it all. With Revell and Bethany House publishers under their umbrella, they bring you a diverse array of books that will captivate your mind and stir your soul. Check out all of their line at www.bakerbookhouse.com. Hey everyone, it is Jamie Jo Wright here, and I have back with us Melody Carlson with a Christmas book release. Welcome, Melody.
Thank you.
It's always so fun to have you. Oh, look at that, the Christmas tree farm. That's great. Oh, Christmas books are the thing right now. I'm talking to a lot of authors who are writing them and then seeing a lot of them coming out. And it's always fun to see one come out from Melody Carlson because you're kind of like a staple in Christmas stories.
Well, I know my editor actually happened to come to town yesterday and I was telling her, I think the one I just turned in is the 25th.
I was going to say, you've written quite a few,
Yeah.
quite a few. Have any of them ever been made into a movie or anything?
Well, it's funny because we kind of tried to get our foot into the Hallmark door with the Christmas books, but by the
Yeah.
time we got taken seriously, they were like, well, we've got a whole, like a 6 foot high stack of Christmas books.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, I like, why didn't we do this sooner? But then, so the first Hallmark one I got was a summer book because they said,
Okay.
do you have summer stuff? But I have one right now that I'm adapting that I already adapted. I'm
Okay.
readapting a long story, but it was
Mhm.
for last year's book.
Okay.
So it may end up being the first one. And that
Okay.
was a Royal Christmas.
Okay. All right. Because it just seems weird that you would have all these Christmas stories and there wouldn't be one yet. That would be a Hallmark movie since you have some.
I know. I get so many readers going, this is like a Hallmark movie. Why are they not Hallmark movies? Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, the Christmas tree farm, what is it about? Tell us. I love the cover because it's got a Jeep and a Christmas tree and snow and lights. It's great.
Yeah. I had some input on the cover, which was fun because
Awesome.
I can't remember. They had a Volkswagen at first. And I said, no, she drives a Jeep. Because at the time I was driving a Jeep. I drove a Jeep for years,
Okay.
but I
Mhm.
switched it over to help my husband. But anyway, my mother I grew up in the valley. We live in the mountains.
Okay.
And that's 2 hours away. And in that stretch of road, which is like one of the most beautiful roads, I have to say, in the United
Mhm.
States, is
Yeah.
the Mackenzie River. It's just gorgeous, mountains and trees and river.
Mhm.
Well, it burnt in 2020. I mean, it dramatically burnt. Oregon had terrible, terrible wildfires in 2020.
I did not realize that.
Yeah. Three of them simultaneously going. The wind was blowing the opposite direction than it usually does.
Yeah.
Just thousands of homes, lots of land, lots of trees, just a mess. So I was driving that drive a lot to kind of take care of my elderly mother and
Mhm.
whatnot. And it was just heartbreaking. And a lot of times I'd get stopped on the road watching them just fall the dead trees and looking at, where you could see the river where you couldn't before. But my
Mm.
heart went out to the people who'd lost homes and businesses along that beautiful stretch. And somewhere along that, I started hatching this idea of, I think I saw a partially burnt Christmas tree farm. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah, what if, and so then I thought, well, what if she just had, part of the farm had burned and her neighbors were totally burned and she'd been out of the country at the time and her sister was trying to, so it's just this whole
Mhm.
story started
Mhm.
percolating and that's the inspiration behind it.
I love it. I love it. Well, first of all, I've been probably on that stretch of road that you're talking about, and I'm pretty sure I know because I've been to the Mackenzie River.
Yeah.
My husband's fly fished it. I've hiked all along it and all that. So that whole area I did not realize that it had been so decimated by wildfires.
Yeah. I mean, it's coming back because that was
Okay.
2020,
Hmm.
but those trees are gone. I mean,
Yeah.
the one fun thing is you can really see the river now from
Okay.
when you're driving,
Mhm.
which is such a gorgeous river.
Mhm.
But the homes that were destroyed have been replaced with brand new houses,
Yeah.
brand new, expensive, beautiful
Yeah.
houses. The original owners, I think, had to just go elsewhere because most of them didn't have insurance because they were older homes,
Oh.
owned, free and clear, and they just
Yeah.
sold their property and moved
Yeah.
on.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow, that's so tragic. So you included some of that element then in this story, correct? So,
I
okay.
did. It's a big part of the story, but
Yeah.
not the whole story. But it's kind of about renovating and redeeming not just land and
Mhm.
farms and but also relationships because
Okay.
this town has a lot of broken relationships that
Okay.
are all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the hero and the heroine and what they're going through. I mean, obviously, she's got a Christmas tree farm that's half decimated in wildfire, so that's obviously a big hurdle.
Yeah, well, while she's been teaching, like, Mongolia, I think it was, it's
Okay.
hard to remember,
Yeah.
teaching English there for, I think, about 5 years, and her dreams kinda got crushed over there. Her dreams had been crushed before, a few things,
Hmm.
but her baby sister, who's quite a bit younger, kinda took over managing the farm because the grandparents had died, the father had died, the mother's off, divorced, living another
Hmm.
life. And so Madison goes back. She's our heroine,
Hmm.
and she's heard about the wildfires, but she hasn't seen it. And so she's just kind of, that's a
Okay.
hard.
Yeah.
And Addie, the younger sister, kind of hates the Christmas tree farm and has no interest in agriculture and no,
Hmm.
and and so she's kind of been letting it go. And then next door to Madison was they're good friends, and this is where they spent all of their summers and all of their holidays because the grandparents helped after her parents divorced.
Okay.
And the neighbor Gavin was like her boyfriend through her kind of teen years,
Hmm.
but he mysteriously got married very young and kind of broke her heart. And
Mm.
it's his property, his family's property.
Okay.
It's burnt to the ground.
Okay.
And he's there now living in a camper with his teenage daughter or almost teenage daughter, and she loves dirt bikes, and so he's developing into this really loud, noisy, dirty
Uh-oh.
dirt bike park. And Madison doesn't really know who it is that's doing this, but it just seems terrible, to him.
Right.
Of course, their paths must cross, and
Hmm.
yeah.
And there lies all the tension. I mean, dirt bikes and Christmas tree farms don't typically go hand in hand very
Yeah,
well.
I mean, dirt bikes are kind of noisy, and
Yeah, just a little bit. My son has told me he wants a dirt bike, and I've said, but I like my woods the way they are.
yeah, and I understand it's a popular thing,
It
and
is. It
yeah,
is. Yeah. So to write that, did you go dirt bike riding? Did you try it out?
I have, but it's been
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I had one for a while. I don't know if you'd call it a dirt bike. It was a
Yeah.
road, whatever. But
Yeah.
we had a neighbor that would kind of ride with us in our woods because we lived by the woods. And
Okay.
he watched me enough times. He goes, "You're going to kill yourself," as I did things you shouldn't do, and it's like I
Yeah.
can't undo them. And so I
Yeah.
went from that to like a four wheeler, and yeah.
Okay. All right. So are you kind of like a daredevil at heart and we just don't know it because you hide behind
Well,
Christmas stories?
I goodness, I really, really was before I had children. And I had
Right?
children quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I was the girl who jumped off of bridges,
Oh my goodness.
who, yes, actually swam with crocodiles when I lived in Papua New Guinea, traveled around the world when I was only 19. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty
Here's
cool.
a side of Melody Carlson we don't know about.
You heard secret stories. Yeah.
You swam with crocodiles. You got my attention there. I need to ask. Can you tell
Literally,
us about that?
yes.
Okay.
I spent a year. It's kind of. I'll try to make it a short story.
Okay.
I graduated from high school early, and then I got a 2-year degree in early childhood ed, and I was only 18.
Wow. Okay.
And I went with Wycliffe Bible
Mhm.
translators as a short-term assistant to Papua New Guinea,
Okay.
preschool teacher. And while I was there, I met this woman who's legendary. She's not around anymore, but her name was Marilyn Laszlo, is Marilyn Laszlo, and she was working with a tribe on the Sepik River in Papua New
Okay.
Guinea. and she hadn't been in her village for probably 4 years because she's been on furlough. So we met and hit it off. She liked to play guitar. I like to play guitar.
Mhm. Yep.
She invited me to go back to her village because it was what summer break down there. It was in like January.
Okay.
I wasn't teaching at that time, and so I said, "Sure." So I
Mhm.
went with her. Oh my goodness, I could write a book about that. I haven't. But anyway, her tradition had been to swim across the river
Okay.
every day, and we'd
Mhm.
seen crocodiles. I mean, when we were going
Sure.
to her house, it was quite a trek up the river. I saw crocodiles, and I said, "Is this okay?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, sure, it's okay."
Oh my
We swam across,
goodness.
and the village people would yell at us, "Quick, ikai you," which means the crocodiles are going to eat you. And she would just laugh, and I'd like, okay.
Oh.
So
Oh my goodness.
for 2
Wow.
weeks,
Oh my goodness. So you
yeah,
have you have swam with or swam with. Either way, you've been with crocodiles in the water. So it's more than I can claim.
we didn't see any as we were swimming,
Okay.
but I told somebody about this later when I got back to where I worked on the main base teaching preschool.
Hmm.
And they're like, "Okay, this is like the dry season. Crocodiles are really hungry. This is the time when they really should have gone after you." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't know that, And
Oh, well, good to know. All the
yeah,
things we learn on this podcast. It's not always about just the books. It's about the secret lives of our author friends.
yeah, you're probably the only one that heard that story on a podcast.
I love it. I love it. I love it when we go places that we're not expecting because I didn't really expect to graduate from a Christmas tree farm to crocodiles in Papua New Guinea, but we went there.
Yep, there you go.
We went there. Oh, fun. Okay, so back to the book. There are no crocodiles in this one, I'm assuming.
No.
So, as far as the Christmas tree farm and the dirt bike thing, is she also trying to save her Christmas tree farm? Is it kind of one of those
Yeah,
type
because
of things?
she loved it. She loved it
Okay.
growing up. She actually came back expecting it to be in a little bit, better shape than it was.
Yeah.
So she just starts herself. I mean, she starts ordering trees to plant, starts planting them. She's
Hmm.
getting her hands dirty. Her sister's like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And Madison's just going at it really hard. And so she actually meets Gavin's daughter,
Okay.
and they kind of hit it up, you know? Yeah.
Hey. Yeah.
And Madison actually ends up on a dirt bike.
Well, that's a good compromise. I mean, if he has to come help her plant some trees, she needs to ride a dirt bike, right?
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens. Yeah.
Oh, that's so fun. That's so fun. So, what is it about writing Christmas stories? I mean, you said you've written like 20 of them now. What is it about
I
writing
think I
Christmas?
just 25th. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What is it that you love so much about writing Christmas stories?
Well, it's funny. I mean, originally my editor who passed away last year
Mhm.
was 25 or more years ago asked me, could I write one? And
Mhm.
I'm like, she said Christmas novella. And
Okay.
I was kind of like, what is the Christmas novella? We didn't really know. Nobody really
Yeah.
knew hardly. I mean,
Yeah.
they were not, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. And I tried it and I liked it and,
Hmm.
did it again. And then as it so happens, my husband's birthday is Christmas Day.
Oh, wow.
So I kind of have a soft spot there. And my growing up, yeah,
That's
growing up was a little dysfunctional.
okay.
But my grandparents were like that, foundation, and
Hmm.
they did Christmas in a big way. And so I feel
Okay.
like I learned Christmas from my grandma.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has a soft spot with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christmas is just a great sentimental time. And I think that's one of the reasons Christmas stories are becoming more and more popular in book form. I mean, obviously, Hallmark's made them super popular as far as movies, but in book form, because it's a way to kind of drag out the Christmas season and visit that nostalgia and that magical time that you just kind of want to stay in for a while.
It's kind of like comfort food, I think.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
makes you warm and cozy.
It's really good. Of course, you probably, when you write these, are not writing them at Christmas. You're probably writing them in the heat of summer or something.
It's usually July.
Oh my.
And this this July it was we had like the hottest July I think on record.
Oof.
100-degree days
Oof.
over and over. And so I've jokingly told people, yeah, I'm sitting in my nice, cool office writing about cocoa and Christmas trees,
Yes.
and I step outside and I just about get knocked over by the heat, and I'm like,
Yeah, you get yourself in
told
the
you.
mindset. Get yourself in the mindset so much with the knit caps and scarves and, wool pea coats, and then you go outside,
Yeah,
you're like, "Oh, I'm melting."
I know.
Oh,
I don't know what would happen if I switched it around and tried to write a Christmas book in the winter time. Because it's probably comforting to me to be writing about those cold things when
probably.
it is hot.
Probably.
And
It's
then
some
and then
mental air
I
conditioning.
write
Oh my goodness, that's so much fun. Well, the tagline on this book is Christmas is the perfect time for old memories, new beginnings, and second chances. And when I read that, I was like, that is really the epitome of what we love about Christmas right there in one sentence.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So, well, the book is out now, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And readers can pick that up
It's
pretty much anywhere.
I think so. If you don't see it, ask for it,
Yeah.
because that helps the book and helps me. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, and I don't think people realize a lot of bookstores like it when people ask them to order a book because it tells them there's a demand for that type of book. Otherwise, they don't know it and they'll never stock it. So ask ask away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, Melody, this has been a blast. It's been a blast to chat about crocodiles and Christmas trees and dirt bikes and what you didn't know about Melody Carlson, the daredevil who writes Christmas romances. I love it. Love it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Being a daredevil helps you be right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine. I would imagine so. Well, I'll look forward to the next time that you're on, and you'll have to come prepared with another one of your daredevil stories.
Okay. That'll be in the springtime.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Start thinking which one you want to share.
Well, yeah, I've
Oh,
got a new one. So yeah, it'll be on the list.
all
But
right.
yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
Well, thanks so much for being here. And readers, make sure you rush out and get The Christmas Tree Farm by Melody Carlson. It's available where all books are sold. And if you don't see it, ask for it. And
Thank
ha-
you.
and have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Have a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you for joining Madlit Musings, where every conversation is a journey and every book is a new adventure. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast player or check us out on YouTube, and let's explore the fascinating intersection of faith, society, and storytelling together.